Team Saskatchewan. Kyle Jans here on the call with Maurice Wilson. Maurice, how are you?
I'm good, Kyle. Yeah, nice to be with you this afternoon.
Absolutely. Maurice is a coaching mentor here this week, filling in the roles, working with coaches and athletes throughout the week. And how's everything going for you?
Yeah, been busy so far this week. We have been offering professional development sessions for coaches to earn points, and so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that's what I've been kind of on the hop with. But, kind of running on fumes by the end of a few days. But anyway, it's been good. They've been good sessions and good turnout sessions. So.
And always the greater good, right? Having an opportunity to bring coaches in from all around the country, give them that experience, right?
Absolutely. And some really fascinating conversations throughout it all.
As we mentioned here, we've got the 1-4 New Brunswick 2. This team skipped by Maisie Carter from the Gage Golf and Curling Club out of Oromocto, as well as the Sackville Curling Club. This team looking to get to 2-4, and then on the other side we have Saskatchewan 1 from the Highland Curling Club in Regina, skipped by Shauna Simpson. 2-3 have a chance to even out the record and would maybe result in a tiebreaker situation for them. We haven't looked too closely at the standings, but it could keep them in the mix. Final round robin game, so for a lot of teams this will be maybe the last game of the event that they'll get to play before the week ends, and for many others this will be a chance to move on to the next step, a 12-team playoff format. You see the center guard up right away.
Do you really enjoy having teams from Oromocto? You like saying that?
Not as much as Vic, I have to say, but it is a fun word to say. And that was Saskatchewan making a nice come around just to the back four. This is New Brunswick lead Genevieve Mason, 15 years old, grade 10 student at the Oromocto High School. Put up a good center guard.
Noticed some fascinating bit of information about Genevieve was that she's a short story author.
Yes.
A published short story author.
Published. That's, well, okay, I was going to say I haven't been published. That's a lie, I have. But that is still super impressive. There are lots of people who cannot say that. That's the one thing that I find. We have the teams submit their bios ahead of time, so we get to learn a little bit more about the athletes for moments like this. And you learn so much about how talented and exceptional they are at other things besides curling. That's okay. Last night I'll say, I was throwing peel weight and I did nearly the exact same thing. It happens.
I thought maybe she was going to wipe out the cameraman for a moment.
Looking for the recovery.
She seems to be all right, just her pride.
Yeah. She looks okay. She's up. That's always good. Gabrielle King is the New Brunswick second, also 15 years old, grade 10 student, so a classmate of Genevieve's.
Her father represented New Brunswick in the Brier last year.
He did, yes.
Brian King.
He's here this week as well. Had a chance to see him. They work this really nicely around the guard and are going to tap that back to sit. Shot.
Lovely shot.
That should be close, hey? No, you're good.
This is grade 12 student McKenna Bailey from the Grinnell High School in Balgony. Her and 3 other teammates have a ton of theatrical experience. They've been the leads in their high school musicals. They are going to direct their first plays this year. And McKenna here has also already earned 2 college credits while she's in grade 12, achieving the highest scores possible in advanced placement psychology course.
Very impressive.
It is.
Very impressive.
She makes that peel. So good start for this New Brunswick 2 team.
Weight's pretty good. Good tight. 4-2. Probably 3 or tough 12. Oh, 3, 2.
The ice conditions at the RA this week have been absolutely
Jen.
impressive.
Go. Go.
Lovely curl, nice speed.
It's given a lot of these athletes, it's their first time maybe competing on this type of ice, and it's amazing to have that experience.
The last shot draws were about 15 and a half seconds, hog to hog.
It's all thanks to the work to our co-ice chiefs, Rick Allen and Bill Duck. Another big ice technician crew that's been working at both venues. So double takeout opportunity looks to be available.
Saskatchewan trying to clear a path for their last rocks. Right now, it's certainly favoring New Brunswick.
Get the peel, couldn't get the second. New Brunswick third, Avery Caldwell, 14 years old, grade 9 student, also out of Oromocto. Badminton.
She has a brother playing here this week as well.
Yeah, with the Dalrymple team. One of definitely a few siblings that are all within this field, which is always lovely to see and makes for a great family vacation or family experience.
For sure.
A lot of curling to watch there, probably bouncing back and forth between the two venues a lot. They try and wrap, they just kiss it, but they're going to get around. That was a great sweep from the New Brunswick team to get that there.
Saskatchewan again trying to clear things up a little bit in the middle right now. New Brunswick sitting a solid 2.
Lauren Spadel, grade 12, Western Knoll Collegiate in Regina.
Stay close. Curl.
Waiting for this one to curl up. They hit 1, they get 2.
Okay.
Leaves New Brunswick sitting 1-2-3. But it does open up the front, and Saskatchewan does have last rock.
Okay. Just a little one. Yeah. Yeah. It's probably good. Mine's good.
It looks like they're looking to play this pretty tight to the house. Both brooms down. Mason and King.
Skipper out to give some help.
Trying to get this over as much as they can. So it leaves it high, and that's one thing that we've seen all week. I mean, it is a little bit off to the side, so it's still accessible. But even with a high guard and you have it in line, you're protecting a rock, it's still accessible, just given the amount of curl that's
So
on
much
this
finish,
ice.
so much late finish. I know during the our coaching sessions, we have been talking. Yesterday's session in particular, we talked about rocks and ice quite a bit with the coaches, and they have been impressed with the Curling Canada rocks this week. Striking bands look really good. The rocks are in good condition, and most teams have found that they haven't had to make too many changes to the rock order where they're being thrown. A lot of teams are throwing straight up. So that's impressive. I know we were at the, I was coaching at the Provincial Scotties in Ontario a couple weeks ago, and their rocks are not quite in as good a shape as that. So.
Fire's okay, but top 12. All right.
So this is the first skip stone from New Brunswick. Maisie Carter, 15 years old, grade 10 student. Her older sister Marlies competed at 3 U18 and U21 nationals in the past, so she's following in her footsteps.
Looks a bit fast. Mine's good.
Try and get as much finish as they can on this one.
Maisie's one of those all multi-talented people as well too. I see she's a recording artist.
Yes.
Recorded with her sisters.
Plays a variety of instruments, the fiddle, the accordion, and the piano. I wouldn't even know where to begin with an accordion. You pump back and forth, you hit the keys, you got to do it all at the same time.
Play with your hands, Kyle. Start there.
It's not like a bag. You don't blow into it like a bagpipe. No. Shauna,
You can, but it may not do much for you.
Simpson's a grade 9 student. Winston Knoll Collegiate out in Regina, flag football player. Pretty darn good skier as well, but after they won provincials, her family went out on a little vacation to do some skiing, but she stuck to the green runs only. She didn't want to risk any injury before, which was a good call. So they're watching this one, waiting for the curl. Now they're on, holding it straight. They're going to get around. They clip it, they move it past and get a roll behind cover.
Very nicely executed.
Great team communication to push that one over and make sure that they had enough to get by that center guard.
Just gonna get by the guard there. Okay.
So Saskatchewan's sitting 1 right now, but they are do a third and fourth shot. It's certainly changed the outlook for this end.
Like that? Yeah.
Maisie will be looking for a hidden roll. Rock that's biting top 8. Or perhaps a double.
No, it's around. It's the hit, the roll, and are they going to roll in? Oh, I think they're going to get shot out of that.
I think they did, indeed, but it is open.
It is open there.
Same way, yeah. I don't think it'll go as much.
Probably rolled a couple of feet too far from what they would have preferred. Or 2 feet, not enough.
2 feet, exactly, yeah. That's the fun of the game, right? There's so many different options that you can make, especially
We're second, yeah.
when you're coming down the sheet and call your audibles partway down.
Yeah, no, this is fine. Okay.
It's a chance for 2 with a nose hit.
Wait, it was nice and lost.
This is very similar to the shot she just threw. Should be able to go to school on that.
It's close. Just have to hold that line. Going to connect. Is it going to sit around? Is it going to sit around? Not quite. So it will be a score of 1 for Saskatchewan. Let's get back to the second end after this.
This is it. It all comes down to this rock. The hours in the gym, the weeks away from my family. This is what I've been training for. And all those voices trying to tear me down, I'm here to silence them. We've given everything we have for a chance to get everything we want.
The Men of Curling calendar is back for 2024. 18 curling athletes from 4 different nations are raising money for various charities. Support them by purchasing yours today at curlingcares.com.
Don't forget the brooms.
Yep, you got it.
Come on up. Well, what do you got? You got 1, you got 2, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Welcome back to the second end of this game between Saskatchewan and New Brunswick 2 with the 2024 Canadian U18s here on Curling Canada Plus. Final round robin draw for the female competition. I know a few teams that will be in there and have earned their first round playoff buys to go directly to the quarterfinals, and Pool A, Ontario 2 has clinched that bye. That is this pool, as a matter of fact. So Saskatchewan, if they get a win here, they're at 3-3. Could have a shot via tie-breaking processes, depending on how some other games go throughout this. Pool B, Ontario 1. So both Ontario teams have clinched byes to the quarterfinals. BC 1 is in, Alberta 2, Quebec 2, Prince Edward Island still in the hunt there. And in our third pool, Nova Scotia 1 has clinched a playoff bye. Manitoba 1 has also clinched a playoff spot of some sort. Nova Scotia 2, Quebec 1 also in the hunt. So tons to be decided here in this last draw happening at the RA Centre and also at the Ottawa Hunt Golf Club. So Maurice, we saw the first attempt go through the house, and it's kind of left an open end here to begin.
Yeah, I did get a time on the corner guard that New Brunswick was throwing, and it slipped into the house as well too. But it's a little bit slower going to the wings right now than is in the draw path that they use for their LSTs. So we'll see what kind of impact that has on the outcome of this end.
With things open to begin, looks like we'll see some hits come throughout the way. Teams will want to look to try and roll up and just kind of change the path, so neither team is throwing the same path too often or at the same time. Both the sweeps down on this lead stone being thrown.
Good sweep.
That was a great hit and roll from Caitlin Speedle. Grade 9 student, Winston Knoll Collegiate.
Okay, you got it. Got it.
Her inspiration was Team Anderson. She watched them at the 2019 Scotties just down the road in Moose Jaw. Saw them take the victory there, and that encouraged her to continue down her curling path, and it's taken her to this provincial championship.
Sounds like they're a fairly close-knit team, and however, with her favoring team Anderson and all the rest of them favoring team Holman, could make for some interesting times off the ice.
I noticed that too, right? Got a potential Scotties rematch final this year. The 2024 Scotties, or just anywhere on the slams as well. So they must be wearing some different hats or jerseys when they're watching curling together.
Absolutely.
You're right, though. This is a really tight-knit team. Best friends on and off the ice. They do all sorts of things together. Camping, off-ice training, 5K runs. And that really adds to the team dynamic. Another thing that I liked about this team from Saskatchewan, they had identified some of their team values at the beginning of the season. Passion for the game, discipline, having a work ethic, being consistent. How do you feel, or what's the importance of a team kind of setting those values to base your team dynamics around it?
Yeah, I looked at the 5 of them, and they had sportsmanship as well in that group of 5. And yeah, I think it's very admirable that they do sit down. And I've had a chance to talk to their coach, Gayleen, about that. She did sit in a few of the coaching sessions that I've had this week. And yeah, they put a lot of time and a lot of thought into it, and very well experienced. The other thing that they said that I read in their notes was that if you're losing, you're learning, which is an interesting thought, and hard, I'm sure, to get a young team like this get their head wrapped around that whole concept. Our former high performance director for Curling Canada, Jerry Peckham, he always phrased it a slightly different way. He'd say, failure is fertilizer if you're paying attention. And I like to use that.
I love that one. Jerry is always good for a quote. One of the most thoughtful guys in the sport that I've ever had the pleasure of talking to.
We always used to talk about the Peckham pause. Sometimes you're talking on the phone to him, or even standing in a conversation with him. It'd be such a long pause. You wonder whether he'd forgotten what he was about to say. But it was always worthwhile waiting to find out what it was. I think we certainly have. It's nice to have a little bit of do, but Jerry did the job for so long, and David Murdoch, I think, is doing a really fine job.
Absolutely,
the new high performance director
came in with a tall task for sure, and
big shoes to fill.
Yeah, big shoes to fill, and
he wears them well.
Big country to manage as well. Obviously, from Scotland, where he was, he had a training performance center that has produced and is still continuing to produce some excellent curlers coming out of Scotland.
For sure.
And now he's being tasked with a way to emulate that system across a vast country. And so I think we're already seeing a lot of his work take place, and very excited for the future with what he has to hold. I know he has a lot of great ideas, and can't wait to see a lot of that stuff being implemented straight from the grassroots level up, or from this age level, essentially, being able to identify talent and make sure that all of these teams, no matter where they are in the country, have opportunities to find, good access to coaches and resources and good ice and rocks and that type of thing, so that they can continue to develop with the best possible play.
That's for sure.
Just like that, we're in Skip's Rocks.
Yeah, pretty open end.
Yeah.
Certainly going to save lots of time on the clock with this one.
In addition to I believe, at 34 minutes now, the clock with the coaching interactions.
Yes.
That's correct. We haven't seen one of those yet, but we'll certainly get to it.
I'm sure we'll see a few. I think it's a very good innovation to the game. I always kind of felt that in the sport of curling, we really haven't allowed coaches the opportunities to interact with their teams as they should. You think about all the other sports, and they're on the sideline, shouting encouragement, shouting instructions, setting up plays, and up till now we've been stuck behind the glass or behind the bench, kind of glued to your seat. With this now, especially at this level where it should be a learning environment, the interactions can be, if they're used properly, they can be a great learning tool.
Absolutely, and it's a learning on both sides, I would say, both the athletes and the coaches, and learning how to utilize them. I keep going back to one example that I saw earlier on in this week. It was Nova Scotia 2. They were last rock, they were making a call for 2, and Coach Andrew Atherton, he made a timeout, or a coaching interaction, came out, was talking about, well, if you throw a little bit more weight at it, you come at it, maybe hit just over half, you can get 3. And so lo and behold, they changed the call. They got their 3 out of it. And I thought that was a really strong example of the benefits of this type of system. And also, I'd say that's part of your role as well of being here and helping coaches kind of manage this as well as we have introduced this over the past couple of years.
Yeah, it's because there are coaches. Like we have 42 teams here, and for 42 coaches, and for many of them, this is the first year perhaps they've had to make use of it. So they're here to learn as well. And we talked about it in many of the sessions. I had a few slides dealing with ECI, they call it, Enhanced Coaching Interaction. And so with that, they were asking questions. And of course, Saskatchewan is the one that kind of modeled the interactions. And so, often just advise them, watch what some of the more experienced coaches, how they're going about doing it. The onus is really on the coach right now for time management, because if you're going out and spending too much time in a coach interaction, you're wasting your team's clock.
Last skip stone for Saskatchewan. Looking to make a takeout. They're hard on the broom. They connect right on the beak. So now New Brunswick will get to play a peel or a blank attempt.
Just like that, we're down to last rock in the end.
I'm going to go for the blank, but if we get one, that's okay.
Maisie Carter, also a soccer player. Last shot of the second end. Broom is down, trying to hold this straight. They get the roll. Out it goes.
Got the blank.
Great shot from New Brunswick, who will retain the hammer in the third end when we come back after this.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You could throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
Just one more throw, please.
Thank you for making moments like these possible.
Blank end for New Brunswick in that second, so they retain the hammer, trailing 1-0 against Saskatchewan in this last round-robin game with the U18s on the female side. We'll have 12 playoff teams ready to go after this. So we have our first 4-draw day here. We had an earlier one. To be honest, I walked in at about 8 this morning, and I was shocked to see fans in the stands and curlers out on the ice. And I went, oh shoot, am I late? But I realized we were on the 12:30 draw instead, so I had plenty of time.
Race to it.
So you could have had to sleep in this morning, Kyle.
I could have, but my ride was leaving, so I had to go with that.
Well, it looks like we're going to have an open end again.
It's the lead stones really dictate that type of play, right? Like
I was kind of surprised though that New Brunswick would chase and play the hit because the first rock was in the back 4, was behind the D line, so that could have been a good opportunity for them to try to take control of this end and take advantage of the hammer.
Throw up a corner guard. Yeah, you don't necessarily have to go for it right away. I think sometimes, I think of when I was at that U18 or junior level, learning the core of strategy and trying to get a little more advanced with it. And sometimes when you see an opposition stone in play and of the different color, you want to go after it, and it certainly helps. But at this point, you're looking for a mistake from your opponents to be able to have a chance to orchestrate some kind of deuce.
That rock track pretty straight. I thought maybe she was just a little bit tight on her release on that one, but really wasn't, with that weight, there wasn't much movement to it.
This New Brunswick team from the Gage Golf and Curling Club, as we mentioned. If you watched a Briar in the past, you're familiar with Vic Browder's call of Oromocto, home of James Grattan. Grattan will be returning to his 16th Canadian men's appearance at the 2024 Montana's Briar in Regina. Pretty incredible accomplishment.
Apparently he's added some new players,
yes,
young players to the team this year,
including Joel Kratz, who is here coaching a Nova Scotia team.
Yes.
So that one rolls out. So now an opportunity for Saskatchewan. Second, McKenna Bailey. We'd mentioned how a lot of the team is big Holman fans, and McKenna in particular points out Emma Miskew, really admiring her ability to adapt to new roles on the team. And I think adaptability is such a strong asset to have, or a trait that you want to have in your players who are coachable and being able to absorb new roles and play to the best of their abilities, knowing that it's for the betterment of a team.
Yeah, I mean, you can make the argument, though, too, that Emma's moved from third rocks to second rocks, and really in today's game, with 5-rock rule, no tick and all the rest of it, the second position really is just throwing shots that third used to throw anyway. So.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true.
But yeah, everybody on the team, Holman has certainly had to make some changes with Sarah moving to lead and Emma to second, and Tracy to third, all used to other positions. So. Seems to be working for them now.
Absolutely, one of the best teams in the country, top in CTRS points, and surely be a favorite heading into next week's Scotty's Tournament of Hearts, just coming up in a week basically. So very exciting. Looking forward to that. It'll be a great season of Canadian curling to come.
Now, this is the first we've seen some in-out hits.
Yes.
So they seem to manage that shot fairly well, but I don't think it's going to stick around on the rings. Still isn't play, though. So this gives New Brunswick the opportunity to hide a little bit behind that guard. Let's wait on the netter rings.
What are some of the key things that players need to be aware of at this age when they're playing maybe that standard out-in hit to maybe an in-out like we just saw?
A lot of it is, I mean, it's a shot that's not played all that much with it, you know. Now, this ice seems to be a little bit more aggressive when you're throwing out in. There's much more late finish. Now, this one, they were taking, she was allowing for about 6 feet of curl and really only got about 4. So, you know, it's going to be a challenge for them just to figure out where the right position is to put the broom. Communication between the sweepers and the thrower have to be critical in this situation, and a lot of help with line calls too, both on the part of the skip and the third situation.
Saskatchewan would love to get that outside roll. Looks like, though, they're going to be rolling to the other side of the house.
And out.
Just through. Sticks around on the back line. Yeah, looks like it will just be still remain in play.
Okay, so we'll see what changes New Brunswick makes. The broom's on the center line, still allowing for about 6 feet of curl. Now, I think before she was about edge of the button on the far side of the center line. Maybe just slightly wide with her line again on that one. Could be. We'll see what kind of finish there is. Again, it's going to be pretty weight sensitive. This looks like it's a little bit heavy.
Broom's not down. It's going to pass the tee line. Saskatchewan will get that one through. It just goes through to the back tee.
So they basically got about 3 to 3.5 feet of curl on that one with backline weight.
Even this top four.
And so now Saskatchewan is opting to come to the forefront.
This top four. We've got corners there, but I'd hate to not bury and give her a hit and roll.
I'm sure Saskatchewan would be quite happy to get a force this end.
Absolutely.
Get hammer back.
This young Saskatchewan team has been curling competitively for only about 2 years. So to come out of a strong curling province and have a chance to represent your province at such a young age and with 2 years of competitive experience is very impressive.
Yeah, they're out at the Highland Club, and a lot of well-known curlers of distinction out of that club, including many of the famous Stan Schmerler team.
Kelly Knapp, who represented Saskatchewan at the 2023 Brier, member of that club as well, someone who's had some interactions and these ladies have looked up to. So they put that, tuck it to the back button.
Yeah, that was a little bit more than I had for LSD, so I knew that it was going to be.
Crowd this afternoon is quite enthusiastic. Lots of noisemakers in the crowd.
Trust it, especially on those cards. Yeah, it's tough.
One thing I pointed out in this game, Kyle, too, that yesterday, of course, Women Curling Day across Canada, and this is a game where we have 2 female coaches.
It is, and you don't really see that often, if ever.
Of the 42 coaches here this week, there are 7 females.
7, yeah. Definitely a number that we'd love to see grow in all aspects of the sport, being able to provide women and girls opportunities on the ice as athletes, of course, but as coaches, I think of Renee Sonnenberg, I think is the shining example of Heather Nedouin, both some women coaches who have done so much, and Lane Dag Jackson. Like there's limitless numbers, and so being able to kind of foster and help the growth of the next generation is absolutely crucial.
Absolutely. As tough as possible.
We have 3 women ice techs here working this week as well.
Yes. And you are seeing more and more of that.
Absolutely.
lots of female officials here as well, too. Helping to promote curling.
Last shot for Saskatchewan in this end. New Brunswick with hammer. Waiting for this one to break. And got caught up a little bit. I think they were waiting for it to break, and then once it starts going, it's pretty hard to keep. So they get it a little closer to nose than they would have liked.
So I think they were... like the Rocks are quite lively. They have good striking bands, and maybe just a little bit snake bitten with things that may have happened earlier in the week, and that one just waited a little bit too long on.
Leaves it in the center of the house, though. More means New Brunswick here. Maisie Carter will have to roll it out a little bit further, or hit a little more precise. So they attempt the blank. Over. They need a piece. Will they get it?
A little bit.
They clip it.
Just enough.
Good shot from New Brunswick to blank that end. So they will retain hammer once again. So we head into the third end of play, or the fourth end of play after this.
It's a beautiful blend of strategy, skill, and creativity. Curling. But it's our people that make us great. We're a mosaic of countless experiences. We communicate and collaborate. We value new ideas and different perspectives. We learn from our past and from our future. We may even disagree sometimes, but it's in our differences that we can see our strengths. The beauty of our sport is reflected in our people and our values. Regardless of your ethnicity or gender, your abilities, your stage in life, your beliefs, or who you love. The rocks and the ice don't discriminate. And as curlers, we won't either. We will be the change that we want to see in the world. Curling is a place for everyone.
We're here for the fourth end. Saskatchewan and New Brunswick 2. After a couple of blanks and open ends, we see a center guard going up by Saskatchewan to begin, and New Brunswick's going to say game on and try and draw behind here to get one in behind cover. Comes through, is actually going to pop out the other end.
See that a few times now in this game, or that out-turn release on there went across the center line. There's a huge overcurl, whether it's perhaps just not being as positive on their release or a little bit tight, or it's the ice.
Exactly.
We'll have to watch that carefully and see how that impacts the game.
Saskatchewan makes the hit. And I think they're going to stick around as well. So now what does New Brunswick do? Are they going to... Yeah, they're going to ignore that stone, which I like. I like this call.
Yeah, same exactly. You got it. Yeah, I'll just keep it.
Long guard, let the games begin.
Curling.ca/scoreboard. You can find all the latest results from the Canadian U18s available there. Live and scoring, so you get the updated results right away. Plus.curling.ca for streaming. It's New Brunswick, all three sweepers down, trying to bring this as far as they can. Want to get it just across the center line.
So now that rock on the outturn did react the way it should, and she threw just a little under 6 rotations from release to stop on it, and that was 15.88 seconds. So that didn't cross the center line in a very aggressive manner.
No,
it did pretty much what it meant to. So probably release on that first.
Trying to bring this over. So we saw Saskatchewan trying to sweep this one for curl. That's a newer thing in the game. Like when I learned to curl, it was just, you know, sweeping to keep it straighter, to make it go further, both brooms down. How does the development of sweeping kind of go for youth that get this U18 level as they learn how to use it and learn to be effective with it?
Yeah, you're seeing kind of two schools of thought about it. It's, you'll see, particularly in the U18 men's, that they're looking more at how much pressure is going on the head, and you'll see the body position that will allow for that to happen, and you'll have a little bit more verticality in the broom handle, that kind of stuff, in order to put pressure down. On the women's side, you're probably seeing it more that they're looking at speed, trying to create that and get that carve to take place. That rock was 12.15 seconds hog to hog. A little bit harder at that. That's kind of board weight, and trying to get it to move. Now they did move the rock from behind the guard, and it's now over, you know, biting the back 8. So job perhaps done.
Yeah.
If they were scoring, they wouldn't be giving it a 4, but they would be getting still some points out of it.
Skip the roll.
Hits, rolls, and they'll touch the other New Brunswick stone.
That's nice.
It's good.
Get the little roll. About as much as they could get without clipping or jamming onto that back red stone.
We could even play this. Yeah. What do you like?
There's a couple of very good options here for Saskatchewan. The first job will be, of course, to remove this rock that's biting the forefoot. But they could roll either direction, and it would be a very favorable outcome for them.
We're gonna know.
Roll it the other way.
Just a little stuck there. They hit the nose. Now New Brunswick will try to do something similar. They want to get a little bit to the outside of that stone from the broom, hitting it on the low side, but not too much. They don't want this to over curl and jam. So now they're calling off. I think they're trying to avoid. And they make it. Slowly creeping over that rock is to the behind that one center guard.
I find when you're playing on ice of this quality that you've got that nice late finish and speed that really that 11-second hog-to-hog time is a critical one that you need to master. And these teams perhaps could just cut back a little bit on that. That was probably more a 10.5-second hit. Scale it back another 3 feet to 6 feet, and for waiting, you might get the result you want.
Or you get a result like this. Oh. So that one comes across pretty thin, not creating as much. Probably, again, an example of that weight, just maybe throwing it down a little bit more, allowing for a little bit of extra action. Connects with both of those stones. Throw a little bit more weight, you have a little less room for error. As you mentioned earlier, these rocks are so active, so you hit it maybe a third at the curling club and it'll have no problem sitting, but you do that with a little bit up weight and you're rolling out.
Yep. And that said, this is what, the 6th game of the week for these teams, so they should be used to that now and just see how the rocks react.
Maybe your hair lasts more. Yeah.
This is a very defensive call, but she did have some other options. She certainly could have frozen to either one of them. They do have hammer. Oh, sorry, New Brunswick has hammer.
New Brunswick
blank, yeah. Then this is the right call.
First skip stone.
Any roll.
Hit that right on the beak.
Got it. Nose. Another control here. Yep. Got it.
Maisie Carter's first skip stone. Trying to bring this over. They get it. Connects. Will it roll and sit? All right, so it does sit. Third shot.
Or just even. Right? Yeah. And she's got to play a nice one on her last. Timeout.
So we're getting our first coaching interaction.
Just be careful here. What are you trying to attempt to? Well, what is it? Not really. Because then we're giving our shot for 2 anyways then. Okay. Oh.
Or what are you thinking? You're thinking hit it?
I'm thinking just hit it nose.
Blast it and give it.
No, just hit it nose.
Well, I'm just
Jam that one on the back. Sit right in front of it.
But then I'm just worried. Then you give her a chance for 3. I mean, if she don't make the draw, and we get a chance for 3.
Yeah, that's right. So it's whatever you want to throw, actually, Shauna. But
try to roll, like big roll.
I don't like that. Yeah, if you want to nose it, that's fine, Shauna.
What if we just draw?
I don't make the draw. You know the weight.
Yeah. It's up to you.
Try to make a good one.
So deciding on the draw.
Maybe a little less.
Shauna, right? Because this one's shot over that one.
Yeah, I like it.
We heard several options.
Well, let's wrap one around.
Hit on the
here.
nose, big roll to the center.
Top 4.
As well as the
I don't
straw.
know whether this would have been my choice, but let's see what happens.
Like 16, 16.5-ish.
I think 16.
They're getting a little faster time than I am up here.
Yeah, 16 I heard.
I had found earlier in the game this side of the sheet was slightly slower than the other.
Last shot for Saskatchewan, and this is a big one.
I like it.
Like 10, 8, 10, 14, 8, 10. It's got to sit.
14-8's the call. It's going to go to the back. Let's sit for shot. Stone. I think it might just be shot. But it is exposed on the other side, so there is a hit for 2.
The one thing with that shot, even slipping as far back as it was, it does take 3 out of
Exactly.
the equation. So. Yeah, I got a similar. I got 14-7, so I mean that would translate to just slightly over 15 seconds to the tee.
So after a couple of blank ends, New Brunswick 2 looking to get onto the scoreboard. Take its first lead of the game. Need it to curl up. They need this to stick around for the 2. Will it get there? They connect, and they're going to roll out. So it will be a score of 1 for New Brunswick 2. Teams will be all tied as we head into the 4th end of play. Teams will take a 4th end break, and so will we. We'll be back after this.
You got 1, you got 2,
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You could throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
Does this look familiar?
Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
The Men of Curling calendar is back for 2024. 18 curling athletes from 4 different nations are raising money for various charities. Support them by purchasing yours today at curlingcares.com.
The sports landscape continues to change, and teams and facilities are under more pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. They need the right team to deliver their product. Look no further than IKS Live. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience across all platforms.
This is it. It all comes down to this rock. The hours in the gym, the weeks away from my family. This is what I've been training for. And all those voices trying to tear me down, I'm here to silence them. We've given everything we have for a chance to get everything we want.
Welcome back to the 2024 Canadian Under-18 Curling Championships. Kyle Jans, Maurice Wilson on the call with you here live at the RA Center. Teams just finishing up their fourth end breaks, and we had a good vantage point of the snacks, Maurice, and New Brunswick has a pretty special one that I think we wanted to have a little bit of.
They call it their party in their mouth. It's a mix of peppermint and hot chocolate covered almonds.
I like it. That sounds delicious.
I wish they had come up and shared with us.
I know. Maybe they have a few extra there that we can take off their hands after this game. Got ourselves a 1-1 game. New Brunswick having an opportunity to make the deuce last end. Had a hit, but just didn't quite get the curl and the turn they were looking for. Hit it on the outside and rolled out, so they settled for 1. So we've had a low-scoring affair so far. But it looks like we're going to see corner guard put up here by Saskatchewan.
Bar's really good.
Like it. 1, 2.
Yeah, they played, both teams played cautiously in the first 4 ends. Perhaps now they're ready to get a little more active with a little more aggressive with their calls.
Right to the penny. Right there.
Great shot from Caitlin Speedle.
Yeah, pretty much where the skip tapped their broom down. They called for 6 feet of curl. They wanted on the center line, and she was right on the outer edge of the 12-foot.
Yep.
Just would have liked about another half rocker curl. It would have been perfect. Very nice weight, though.
Simpson just checking if that's on the center line. They cannot tick it if it is on.
I can like barely see nose.
Board weight was the call.
Close. Room.
Got a curl.
Room.
Down. No.
Room.
Got a curl.
Really gotta move.
It's going to have to curl quite a lot.
They get some. They just kiss
really,
it in.
Really helped out. Kiss it over behind the guard.
And sometimes, yeah, you want to bring it over, but you don't know if it'll make it better or worse. You kind of get stuck maybe a little bit, and it's tough to make that call. You either got to start it earlier on or let it go by. So that helps out New Brunswick.
Something heavy. Yep. This I think it's light. But it's pretty good. Gotta go line. 4. Gotta go. Gotta go. Hurt. Hurt. 3. Hurt, Jen. Gotta go. Little light. Yeah.
Flirting with the guard on this shot.
Around the front. Roll. Okay.
Actually open it up a little bit so that shot stone's now open.
Saskatchewan's played this shot a few times now. So they should know the ice well. Although they're having to use the other turn.
Kenna Bailey calling for the sweep right out of the hand.
Did a good job managing this.
Very good.
Gonna get the roll.
Wonderful
lovely
shot.
roll.
Great shot, McKenna
Nicely
Bailey.
executed.
Good communication, good sweep all the way down.
Excellent line call.
Certainly a shot the team from Regina will be proud of.
Okay.
I think it's New Brunswick thinking.
Let's go there. All right. And that's like a ton of ice, but.
This is a risky call.
Really have to get under those corners, otherwise leaving a similar shot for McKenna again.
And if it slides behind the tee line, that could be advantage to Saskatchewan.
Trying to get this one off that center. Redirects. Closes up that port.
Or we wrap here.
Or we can try
Might be hard to get to the corner with the guard.
Yeah.
So split the house or come around where the two calls.
15-5.
Opting to use the centers that are up there.
Even 16. Yep.
Now this call calls for a degree of precision. Of course, you want it in front of the tee line. You'd like to have it buried behind one of those guards, but you are guarding, you are using their rocks to do the guarding. This can over curl though, and not the guard.
Okay.
And you have an overlap now, so this could be advantage to New Brunswick if they execute this properly.
Not bad. Top 4. Hands in. It's got a curl. Clean. Just watch it. Always curl too. Gabby's right. Top 4. Gabby. Always Gabby. Yep. Hurt. Hard curl.
Need this one to move over. Line looks good.
It'll finish a lot.
Weight looks good. Right on the pin.
I think they can still see about half the rock though. And with this amount of curl, it should be easy to remove.
Very accessible.
Weight choice is important here though. We see that the ice is fairly weight sensitive.
Like it. Yep. Hard.
a little tight.
Falling off. Actually raised their own stone up a little bit more, but
you can see more of it now to the opposition.
New Brunswick, though, without Hammer, will be thrilled to keep guarding this away as much as they can.
They're committed to the steal now, aren't they? This is a long way to curl.
Yes.
It served its purpose, though. It has closed down that draw path.
Even Saskatchewan with a run double. Even though a peel here, just kind of opening it up, would certainly be beneficial for this Saskatchewan team. Looking to connect. They got to keep it on that high side.
Thanks.
Got rid of the shot rock, but just replaced it with another shot rock.
Regarding the yellow? Yeah. Like center line.
I give less.
It was close to making that.
Very close, yeah. No, it was a very good effort.
It's like center line guard. Yeah. Me too. I'm sorry, Lindsay. It's fine.
New Brunswick will be looking to plug the hole and also try to take away as much of the yellow rock that's just in front of the house that could be promoted. I don't know where you guard them all, though.
It's the beauty of the game. There's always something available.
Yeah, Saskatchewan's got a couple other weapons, too. Some of those rocks in the wings, yellow rocks in the wings, could be used as well. This one looks like they may raise it in themselves.
Trying to get this off.
It did curl strong at the end.
So they raise it up, though, and Saskatchewan will sit.
And I think there is a hole there.
Does look accessible. Have to be awfully precise, but it is there.
I got most of it. Most of it? Do you hate normal? That's a pretty small court.
Yeah. No, I like normal and just.
Yeah. It'll go here hard, I think.
Yeah, I think before the rock that was there, a shot rock, before you couldn't have hit it and stayed. This one, I think you can hit and stay. But it is a small port.
It really is, and you have to come that intern center line side in order to avoid that red combo there that's a little bit higher. Probably needs to throw some good weight at it, too.
Yeah, see what kind of weight she selects here. She doesn't give herself a lot of ice, but it is going to ride the center line quite a bit of the way down. Depending on some late finish and try to avoid those guards that are tight to the house.
Big shot for Saskatchewan. Shauna Simpson. They're calling close. They need it to. Yep. Off. Whoa. Will they get it?
No.
Oh.
So close.
That was a really good effort.
Yeah, now she threw, I would say what they would determine as normal. I got a 9.25 hog on that, but perhaps more control weight, a 10.5 second. The shot would have been there.
Yeah, it just needed a little bit more curl, and I'm surprised it hung that long, but I guess
just a little firm.
A
little firm. But of course, the end's not over yet. So.
No. As you mentioned earlier, though, New Brunswick committing to the steal. Still look to plug this hole up once again.
Yeah, I mean, they do have an option. They can see half of that yellow rock, so they could come in there and sit 2 or maybe even 3. That looks like there's a biter out there as well. And then the force definitely wouldn't be in play. This looks a little hot.
Rubbing off the center. So that'll block the path.
They got fortunate with that.
And you draw here. Like that. Yeah. Whatever you like. No harm in trying that. Don't hate it. You hate it.
So checking out this angle run. Not thinking that the path is there down the middle.
I like this call. Like, this is your opportunity for 2. The other way, you'd be drawing for 1.
Yeah. Do you like that?
You give up
I think so.
Give up a steal.
Risk versus reward, right?
Control.
2-1 score. You maintain hammer for next end.
There.
Very hard to hurt yourself with this shot, too.
Give it a go.
Very exciting. Let's see if Saskatchewan can make this ankle run.
Control.
Okay, yeah.
Let's just draw.
Looking for the draw.
Feels more comfortable with that.
Yep, absolutely. At the end of the day, Skip has to feel like they're playing the shot that they have the best chance of making.
Yep. Yeah, neither call was wrong.
Nope.
Now you just have to execute.
So Saskatchewan drawing against 1. They need this to move. They're by. Now they gotta get it there all the way as far as they can. They'll scrub, Good try, but New Brunswick will steal a single point to take a 2-1 lead in the 5th.
That was a 15-6-2.
Very close effort, just a little bit offline or a little bit more curl it needed. Teams will take a break or a quick one here, and we'll be back for the 6th right away.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You could throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
The Men of Curling calendar is more than a date provider. Each edition is packed with beautiful images and tons of curling information too. Support curlers and charity by buying yours today at curlingcares.com.
We're here for the 6th end in this 2-1 game. New Brunswick 2 picking up the steal against Saskatchewan last end. Maurice, Saskatchewan with a couple of options on their last shot. Was looking at the angle run to score 2. Decided though Skip was going to be more comfortable throwing the draw. And as we said, neither call is incorrect. And very good effort, I'd say. You had a good draw time, good split time, and the weight looked to be there.
Yep. Just a couple feet more weight. May have hung just a little bit straight. It might have been able to manage it a bit more and get shot out of that. But awfully close to making it. Yeah, neither call was easy.
The Saskatchewan leads there, makes a great come around, puts it right on the pin. Caitlin Spadel.
Should be pretty much assured of some action this end with the way this is starting to set up.
Both teams coming around. New Brunswick just kisses off the center guard, but that's still going to be in a great position.
That's okay.
Yeah. Just a smidge less.
There's some controversy at the coaches meeting on the first night about rocks that are in the free guard zone touching the center line and with the tick rule. So the question was if the rock is promoted into the house and still touching the center line, what happens?
That's an interesting call. I believe the way that the ruling is if it's moved at all, it has to go back.
That's what was decided. I'm not sure all parties that were there and all 42 coaches were in attendance, plus 4 of the on-ice officials, whether there was any consensus that was actually the right thing. But the rule book does seem to read that way.
Yet to see that happen
there's
in a game.
There's no option. The non-offending team doesn't have the option of just leaving it there.
I believe it's not a non-option or not a choice on behalf of the non-offending team, correct?
Yep.
It's true. Yeah, I've yet to see that happen in a game, but we're still very young and into the this new ruling, so I'm sure it will happen at some point. New Brunswick trying to raise this up, hits it a little too thin, removing both their stones.
Yeah, that wasn't that easy to do, to go in between those 2 yellow rocks.
Yeah, throw a top ball.
So since I have it up here, this is the ruling for the Canadian men's and women's championships, which I'm sure would be the same for the national championships here. Prior to the delivery of the 6th stone of an end, the delivered stone causes, either directly or indirectly, an opposition stone in the free guard zone, which is touching the center line, to be moved to an off-center position, to a position outside the free guard zone or out of play. It does say the non-offending team has the option to
does it? Okay.
Remove the stone from play and replace all stones that were displaced to their original position prior to the violation, or leave all stones as they come to rest. So,
well, that actually the meeting ended, and I don't know whether, like I said, whether the consensus was that or.
It could be a bit different variation for this event too. We'll have to look at that competitor guide.
Back ball. Boat. Wow. You want a curl? Boat. Curl? No.
So New Brunswick just a little heavy on this.
Yeah, and we can take it, right?
Now Saskatchewan with hammer, liking this center guard where it's at and how it's situated in front of a couple of stones in front of the house, or up there's in the house.
hit the break point a little bit early. You're going to have a hard time managing a little shot management in this one. But I think they're okay.
Hard, yes. Hard, right, Pete. Hard. Hard. Keep going every inch. Roll it off. Okay.
16 and a half seconds, that one, to top 12.
We never peel. Well, it's pretty open. We just have to get. You got it.
Oh, they squeeze this around. Sitting a little bit open.
Just a foot or two heavy.
Okay, my hack last end.
Again, a lot of precision required in this call, too.
To get by, they got to avoid the center. I'm going to say the two at the front, I thought they would get there, but they just tick off the center. Will open things up. Saskatchewan tries to get that last counter into play.
How are you doing?
The stagger at top 12 now could actually work against Saskatchewan.
That's true.
The well-executed rock by New Brunswick.
Yeah, just a tiny tap is all they need. They can lock that right onto the pin. They'll be sitting very nicely.
I think the right weight call here is probably just a real positive tee line. Or even top 4 to let the sweepers look after it.
Yeah, I go. Back over. Curl. Hard, Jen.
Nice shot. Just trying to tap this up. How much of it will they hit? A little too thick.
Yeah. Just over curled a bit even.
Yeah, they really needed to stay on the high side of that stone.
Looked really good and just moved very hard in the last few feet.
Someone's wide. Wide and helps New Brunswick out now.
I gave you like here. Lighter's better here, but we're gonna go for the draw. What? We're gonna go for a draw. Okay. What did you get for a split for hers? 4. 4? Okay. So like 4-1, 4-2. Okay. 2 probably.
This has been an end of many momentum swings.
It sure has. Seen a lot of instances of, oh, looking good for Saskatchewan. And now looking pretty good for New Brunswick.
Where is it? 4-1. Top 4. Hey, Linton. Top 4. Linton.
All it takes is sometimes a half shot here or there to really change up the complexion of an end. Now, good opportunity for New Brunswick. They need to try and tuck this one behind. So they'll sit 1, 2, and 3, but all behind the button, all behind the tee line.
Yeah, we just play there. Just try to, like, in the pocket.
Nice pocket for Saskatchewan now.
Yes.
But they're going to be wanting to look more than just scoring just one. This
absolutely, yeah, especially with how the end kind of started. So
kind
the
of roll into the pocket.
Hit and roll is the call into the pocket.
Into the pocket, yeah.
Just control.
Yeah.
Good weight. Trying to curl this over. They need to roll. Sit on the nose. Tiny roll outside.
We have a stroke guard. We could, yeah. I mean, if we do that, we could. They're just going to freeze on top of us. Yeah, I think. Aren't we?
An advantage New Brunswick again.
We could go here, but then they have a draw. If we do that, yeah. And I don't want to jam it either. We could go like here. We just draw. Yeah. Same thing, just less weight. Like here. Yeah.
It's just deciding where they want this rock to stop. Leaving it kind of top 8 was the initial call, but I think now they're looking at trying to just put it right on top. Beat them to it.
Nothing wrong with biting top button.
Absolutely.
Actually, even if you sit right on top, I think most of the rock's still going to be above the tee, so it's going to be awfully hard for Saskatchewan to get shot.
Yeah, okay. Same shot.
Although you could play off your own yellow.
But if we're like,
yes.
that's okay. Yeah.
But again, it'd still just be for 1. So
4-3? Yeah. Sweep it, maybe?
the thing you don't want to do is to set probably top 4 here with the rock fully exposed. You could move all 3 red, and Saskatchewan would have an opportunity to cut a lot.
Where is it? Sit tight. Tight. Where? It's coming down. Becky. Play the hit. It's straight.
This is going to finish hard, I think.
Yeah, they need to be careful of that one. They gotta keep it straight. They gotta get around this top 12 rock. Bouncing off.
Still good.
So, can you remove all 3 reds?
What if we just play this one, hey?
Just run the middle.
Yeah, you should be okay to get by that one.
Yeah.
Just nose. Nose, normal.
Yeah.
There.
I like there.
So maybe there's an option to do something like that, Marie, so you get a little run red back, but instead looking here, run straight back to remove the 2, and could be getting 2 or 3. Maybe even a few more, or 4, yeah.
4's in play with either shot. This is probably easier.
This is the easier shot, absolutely. Big opportunity. For Team Saskatchewan, looking to score a bundle. They don't.
Yeah.
And that's a tough one to swallow for Saskatchewan. A real roller coaster of a ride this past end. Not quite getting that last one to curl up, and it will be steal of 2.
It's a bit too much set on the release.
Just couldn't quite get back in. We'll be right back after this.
Don't forget your brooms.
You got it.
Come on up. Well, what do you got? You got 1, you got 2,
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
The Men of Curling calendar is back for 2024. 18 curling athletes from 4 different nations are raising money for various charities. Support them by purchasing yours today at curlingcares.com.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You could throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
You got it.
Welcome back to the 7th end of play. We had a roller coaster of a ride last end. Saskatchewan early on looked to be sitting nicely with a couple behind center, but a couple half shots here and there. And in the end, Saskatchewan did have a shot for as many as 4, but resulting in a steal of 2 for New Brunswick too. Maurice, I guess what do you say to the Saskatchewan team at this point of the game after giving that up?
I mean, they still hammer this in. They just need to take advantage of it. The hammer efficiency for them obviously has been not good, with them only able to score 1 point so far in this game. They've got a couple of ends left. It's a 3-point lead. Still lots of opportunity in order to get back in this one.
Absolutely. And they'll start with a great lead stone thrown to put up the corner guard.
Really tight. Top 12, 3. Well, top 12, pretty good. Top 12, 3.
Be interesting to see what they do with their second shot.
Maybe top 8. Top 12, yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Always the question of putting up another corner or starting to attack.
Yep. Or double up the corner. 3 good options there. They're going to come in.
Barnes good. You got room. Room.
We gotta go wait though.
Can't go.
We gotta go wait.
Let's go.
Always curl.
Hard. Okay, that's good.
Might be just short, but it serves as another corner guard.
You got it. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, that certainly would be the tolerance on that shot. Nice tight guard.
That's something that's always so important to consider when you're settling into the hack. It's best to miss this a little bit heavy, a little bit light. Would I rather be a little in or a little out? What would be the best possible outcome?
Yeah, in most situations, it's good to think of tolerance. There are situations now, our games become so precise. you need to be working in your training sessions, your practice sessions on precision. And talk about sometimes being like the seduction of shot tolerance. Sometimes we think, okay, well, we've made the shot as long as we throw within the tolerance. When sometimes, you're calling for a freeze, it's got to be exactly the. We saw a few situations in that last end where rocks just New Brunswick could hurt themselves with that second last rock that they, or sorry, the last rock that they had that ended up rubbing and staying top 12 because it allowed Saskatchewan 2 opportunities really to count a big end if they had been able to execute.
They're by. Ooh, just by. I almost needed maybe a little kiss on this one because it's going to go through.
I'll listen. Judge better. Probably about the same way. Wait, let's not the same. Maybe a bit less. 3? Yep. I'm good. Okay. 2? Yep. Top 8. Yeah, I gotta go top 10. Okay, curl. Still a little low. Hard. Sit low.
Great shot from New Brunswick. Tucking it just behind. You can see a little bit, but Saskatchewan needs to generate some points, so they aren't going to chase anything.
Getting late in the game. Time to take a few chances.
Just for this, like 6 feet less.
That was quite a bit narrow.
Brooms are down.
We're on the front.
Tight end light.
Roll it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Adds another guard to that pile. New Brunswick remaining aggressive, going to
Very much sorry.
try and get another one in.
Sorry.
Yeah, they're certainly dictating play right now.
It's probably a little light. No, this needs top 8, girls. Top 8 or top 4? 3. Where? You got it. Yeah. You got it. Yeah, go. Curl if you can. Top 4. Go now. Yep. You got it. Curl. You got it, girl. You got it. Bird. All the way. Yeah, all the way. Keep rolling.
Looking to bring this by. They want to get past both. They'd love to tuck it around that one in the top 12. Locks it on, tightens up that draw path as well.
Do you like this side?
Better there than behind the tee. So
yes.
Serves a purpose.
Lauren Spadel being asked to hit and roll.
I always like it when young skips look for these 2-for-1s. So this is one where you can get rid of the opposition rock and roll in behind cover.
They get the hit.
Well, it's going to roll too far.
Now New Brunswick 1 and 2. Wide open out turn. Getting this right to the tee line, just not enough curl. Great weight selection for that shot.
It's a good opportunity for Saskatchewan now to hit and roll under. Make it very difficult to remove with all those rocks.
Oh, yeah. No one's, don't see much on that intern side.
Yep.
Or if you're a lefty like Lauren, this is the intern side. But that one just rolls up, actually connects with the stones in the top 12, removes one.
That's not so bad.
Yeah, that actually turned out pretty good.
Yeah. Surprisingly.
I'm a lefty like Lauren, and so I've always, it's taken me so long to figure out the intern, outturn. Wait, my outturn, your intern.
You had it right there.
Clockwise, counterclockwise.
Positioning of this rock is going to be critical. This is a hard one for shot management. It's so much curl and late finish.
So where exactly would be an ideal spot to place this?
What? I don't. It's a draw.
Good question. It's impossible to guard it all because of the way that the rocks overlap there. You know, no matter really where she puts it, I guess keeping it tight to the house would be the ideal thing. But no matter where she puts it, they're still going to have a shot to remove the rocks. So. It's going to come right in.
These stones are bunched up now.
Yeah, we could. Maybe like that. I don't hate.
No, and Saskatchewan doesn't want to just
I don't think they're losing that if you go that way.
take one this end. No, that would be a bad situation for them. And this is really difficult to remove all three rocks.
It is.
Just control. Or normal.
I heard control and normal, so I think they're planning to come off this rock here, bounce kind of into the pocket.
That's probably the best result.
Normal, just blast the double, sit right there.
Just inside the nose.
Definitely can get some action going on those two, the middle and right rock.
You want to try to give yourself a chance to bring that other yellow into play.
Absolutely.
For your last shot.
Yep.
This is close.
This looks
where they
pretty
want to be.
close.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Connect with the nose. Rolls it over. New Brunswick's still 1 and 2, but that yellow stone's in a good spot.
Yeah. Even higher is good. Yeah.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all.
See them come through. Yeah, just got enough of that roll. Comes across. It doesn't make contact with that middle stone. Now,
I would guess New Brunswick's putting a guard up.
That would be my guess too. They can get 2 here on a steal. They will be very happy in this game. Have to see what they leave Saskatchewan for the last shot. New Brunswick's last shot, the 7th end. They're aiming to put it top 12. Higher is better. Looking for it to stop just in front. That looks to be pretty good. Leaves a little bit of a peak of the yellow, though.
Think the shot's there?
Yes. Good opportunity.
Yeah, it's overcroached. She can see pretty much all of that rock. And certainly with the curl we have, but she does have to throw enough weight in order to remove the red rocks enough that the second yellow rock comes into play.
Yeah, you need to at least get it to the second part of the 12-foot there. Or outer half. Certainly
so
there.
High side of the nose should do it.
Okay, try to get the back double.
She threw it really well too last time. It was pretty close.
Yeah.
Let's see what Shauna Simpson can do. Extra moment in the hack for this big shot. Big opportunity. You got to get around the nose. You got to let it curl, maybe. Wonderful shot
for three.
Shauna Simpson.
And shooter stays.
How about that? Ties it up. Wonderful shot from Saskatchewan to
very well executed.
Great team
Not
effort.
much daylight by that guard.
All square coming up after this.
Yeah.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You could throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
The Men of Curling calendar is back for 2024. 18 curling athletes from 4 different nations are raising money for various charities. Support them by purchasing yours today at curlingcares.com.
The sports landscape continues to change, and teams and facilities are under more pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. They need the right team to deliver their product. Look no further than IKS Live. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience across all platforms.
Welcome back. What a wonderful shot to tie up this game. Team Saskatchewan looking for an opportunity to be able to have some life here and have a chance. They had been just a little off all for some of the game and given up a few steals, but ended up making a wonderful takeout to score a 3 and tie this game up. The team will now not have hammer. We'll have to try and steal away the win here in the 8th end.
But that is a big momentum shift.
Absolutely. It does a lot for a young team, I think, too, to be able to have that, have their spirits lifted up. Let's take a look at this again. Just a short run. Look at this overview. Getting it right by that top guard. And making no mistake.
Perfectly executed, and the shooter stays.
just like we said last time, I asked you, what will Saskatchewan be looking for this upcoming end? What would you tell them as a coach? And, you know, you just got to wait. You got to take your opportunities. They are going to come. You had Hammer, and they created their opportunities this time.
Yeah, that's good.
This end requires a lot of patience. So they can't get in a hurry to get into the house. They need to have things set up properly. The other thing is that, you know, the New Brunswick rocks, if you can promote them behind the tee line, they're your friend.
Absolutely.
So don't get in a hurry to remove anything.
It's been the same. Maybe a little heavier. Top 4. Yeah, weight's pretty well there. Top 4. Back 8. Stay close. Back 4. Stay close.
If you're Saskatchewan.
Back 4. Oh, back 8. Yeah.
If you're New Brunswick, so you want to try and keep this end as clean as you can. Give Skipper an opportunity to make sure that there is a shot for the win.
Yeah, what the New Brunswick skipper needs to be thinking about right now is, what path do I want to have clear for my last shot? And you've got to try to maintain that and establish that right from the get-go. Strategy and tactics are really just a series of questions that you ask yourself. And I always said, back I was a teacher for 28 years, and when I got to my 20th year teaching, I've got 2 daughters that are teachers, and I said, I think I finally figured out what good teaching is all about, is if you want the right answer, you got to ask the right question. Strategy's a bit that way too.
Good call here from New Brunswick now.
Got it, Gavin.
Yeah, they're ready to try to keep things open. Again, establish that path that they want to have.
Exactly. So that begins with this shot. They get the nose just missed. Now they got to be careful of the back. A couple catchers there to take it. So replaces the guard. It is their own color, but would have liked to maybe had it even just.
I think if I was Saskatchewan, to be putting one more guard up.
Yeah, that's
nice
another thing too.
Nice tight guard.
Just having
zone 3 guard. You know, they're probably thinking to themselves that we need to get in there before New Brunswick does. But New Brunswick, if they're playing it properly, they're not going to get in a hurry to get in there right now either. They want to keep things open up front.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Heals the shot for them.
They need 1 point, and it can come on the last shot. That's the advantage of this 8th end and having the hammer. So opens up the path. So I am curious to see what they do.
You don't like peeling again? You don't like the hit? Peel this one?
I think that actually the last shot probably right now has closed off the draw to the button on that on the intern side. This one's well out there.
Will it connect with?
Nothing.
Ooh, just a little wide. You hear that cheering in the background. That looks like it was a Newfoundland and Labrador win over Manitoba. Improves their record to 3-3 and potentially keeps them alive for a spot in the playoffs.
Oh, top it. I don't know.
Okay, at least the path's cleared.
There it is.
One more guard out front. Brunswick's taking a bit of a gamble right now, rather than peeling the guards. This one goes a little deep to back four. Big advantage Saskatchewan.
Got to get around this top guard. Are they
going to do it?
So now this path is just getting a little smaller and smaller, a little more difficult to manage. As both teams try and find their way around.
Pretty good. 15-2.
A little heavy, 1497. It's going to be back four.
No. Die.
Behind the tee. The finish is there, and now New Brunswick really needs to lock one down. The scoring zone is closing up. So they've really gone for it as opposed to the peel.
Very heavy. Pretty heavy. Back four. Curl if you can. Back curl. I think you can. Yes. Curl. You can't curl. Yes. Curl. Yes. Oh, it's coming down. Oh, no, not again. Curl hard.
Can they get it there? They're working this hard. Can they get it there? Will they lock it on? They need shot. They'd like to be shot. Pretty close. I think it's still Saskatchewan.
Yeah, I think that's the call. Once you take your time I think now. That's the guard. I think it's the call. Hey.
Getting a coaching interaction here.
Thinking thinking of guarding?
Yes.
Okay, just think which way you want to come across it, right? Like, is it going to take off if you come this way? It might
I don't like coming that way. I don't like coming that way either.
Okay, then just ice appropriately, right? Because it's going to move at the end, right?
Kind of on that 4-foot line, hey?
Yeah.
Like, is where we want it to end up?
Yeah, just ice appropriately, right?
I think it should be close.
I think a hair more.
So Coach Galen Simpson.
Yeah, there.
Just making sure that they take enough ice on this, as we have seen it move quite a bit. Want it right on that 4-foot line, just to try and take away any type of red into yellow rays.
Okay. Yeah.
So guarding for our lives here.
Guarding for our lives.
This is a huge shot. Huge shot for Saskatchewan.
Okay.
Certainly a big swing in momentum over the last end and a half. Shauna Simpson, grade 9 student. A couple members of her team are in grade 12. There's a lot of responsibility for the talented young skippers. Been doing great after that exceptional shot last end. Looking to finish this up. That stops in a really nice spot.
Big decision for New Brunswick to make.
And if we peel, we peel?
And here are the options that they're mulling over here. Peel or run it back. They have several options out front, as well as angle raising their own end and slashing. And
yeah, certainly a lot of options. I think they're going straight for the yellow into red kind of run. leave themselves shot stone.
Peel.
They're planning to throw Peel at it, though.
You said peel, not run? We could run. I just don't want to, like...
Or, okay, never mind. The call is the straight Peel.
Are we trying to run?
Are those some discussion about it?
Yeah.
No, we're trying to peel. Sorry.
Okay, straight Peel. Confirmed by Skipper. Maisie Carter looking for the Peel. Leave herself with a few options on her last shot.
We'll see what peel weight means to them. The time on this one.
Oh, it's so tight. Yeah. Yeah. Straight. Yeah. Straight. Straight. Yeah. Whoa. Don't curl. Don't. Yeah.
972.
Okay.
Same thing.
I think so. You like the same heights I do?
Yeah.
Right?
Where do we take here?
Yeah, we take a look here.
Lots of time for both teams on the clock. Certainly won't be an issue.
Same thing.
Yeah, put it back. Weight was perfect. Same weight.
Saskatchewan looking to steal this one away. Try and play another guard. Sit down. Saskatchewan's done all they can. It's all in the hands of Maisie Carter and her team.
I think I would have liked that guard a little tighter to the house.
A little bit tighter. It gives.
I think you gotta take.
It's there.
Yeah, sure. We'll have to do a heavy draw.
Really, you just need tea.
It's sort of there. You got it.
There's a hole there, yeah, just a little tap and.
Little tap is all it takes. Yeah, that path is available.
Yeah, is that there? I think so. It's the only shot.
I think ideally I would like to see that even if it was biting top 12 and kind of half buried in the long guard. Doing that might also taken away the opportunity for the slash.
Yeah, a couple of different runs. Last shot of the game. Saskatchewan set up to steal right now, but the tap is available for New Brunswick.
Straight. Whoa, curl.
Calling for straight. Straight. They need to get around that top guard that was just thrown. If they get by, and they're by, now they gotta wait. Will it curl enough? Can they get enough of it?
Yes,
they need to touch, and they got it. Great shot from New Brunswick. Wonderful communication and a great team effort to take this one away, 5-4. Good game from both teams, well played, as that will wrap up our coverage of the round robin here at the 2024 Canadian U18s. Playoff action will be coming up next. We'll be back live on the air at 4:30 p.m. Eastern for our first men's playoffs games. On behalf of Maurice Wilson, I'm Kyle Jens. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kyle. Pleasure to work with you.
You too as well. We'll see you later.
Go!